If you note down there on the shoreline of Loch, you'll see lots of rhododendrons. You're probably mystified as to why they've appeared. Well, they haven't. They've been there a long time. Below the surface of the water is the old shooting lodge. When they flooded the Loch, they dammed up the Loch, as you say, as obviously the water levels rose and the property was flooded out. But it's down there. And my father, who I think I mentioned previously, was a postman for 37 years, at a time when the postman used to start work at 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes earlier. They had to collect the mail from the city. But he used to come along here to deliver on his bicycle. My father was caught out in a blizzard one day, not here but further across the moorland, delivering to a steading, and he couldn't make his way back to the property, or he couldn't make his way to the van. It was complete whiteout, and he thought again in his life it was his last moments. I'm sure I've mentioned him before. He was shot to pieces when he was in Holland during World War II, and 11 of his comrades were sadly killed and dozens very badly injured, like himself. And as he recalls, when he woke up, the 3 nuns were looking over him, and he thought he was in heaven, but he'd been saved. I think the Yanks, the Americans, had come in, and the Germans had retreated, but anyway, he was saved, but he was a long time injured. He was flown to a hospital in Swansea, of all places, and then he spent time in Gleneagles, which was given over to the war during the 39-45 conflict, and he convalesced there until he was better to return to normal life. I have one of his disabilities. It's a very small one. You see my pinky? His pinky was always severed with machine gun fire, and my pinky, just like my dad's, will always keep on moving to the left. It's very odd, isn't it? That's part of the DNA. Just at that corner, just a few moments ago, obviously people pass, and there's a couple away along there now who jogged past maybe 15 minutes ago, and just as I turned the corner, when my head's down and walking, I heard the puffing and panting and the conversation between 2 individuals. Wasn't that 2? It felt like 2 men. And I just presumed they were part of a group that were just out for a jog or something. And so I didn't look round. I didn't pay any attention. But I heard them puffing and wheezing and chatting. And then I thought, where have they gone? And I looked around, there's absolutely no one there. Not a soul. I've had a lot of instances on this particular track. I told you there's so many things happen to me. I don't make them up. I mean, I've got a great imagination, of course, that's why I'm a writer, but what I tell you on this camera regarding these matters are total 100% truth. I've had so many instances on this route where I've had people approaching and no one's there. I've had on the Manee Road a number of years ago, certainly within the last decade, certainly in the last 7 years. I was walking just before I got to the Monee Kirk, and I distinctly heard the whir of a cyclist, and there was a small tink of a bell, and tinkling bells on cycles are very rare nowadays, and just at that, whooshing past me, and there was no bloody bike, there was no person at all. And I emailed someone to say, guess what happened tonight? Of course, they didn't believe me. No one believes anything I tell them. I've still got to catch up with my sister to say that the day I was visiting her, when would that be now? Was that perhaps in December or January? I can't really remember. Probably December, or maybe even November. No, December. And there was something happened, and I was telling the story about the ageless woman at Amoree, just giving her a little, not a full account, just giving her a couple of sentences about it. And she says, Andrew, what kind of aftershave are you wearing? I says, I'm not wearing any aftershave today. She says, must be. And she came over and she sniffed my chin and says, can you smell that? And I says, oh, I can. And this amazing perfume, this cologne or perfume, really strong. I says, and it was a family member, I'm sure, that used to wear it, like my mum or my granny or something. But it's quite distinctive. Well, just last week, maybe 10 days ago, just before I went in my bed, I smelled exactly the same perfume all in the room. So I've not managed to catch up with sister to tell her. But I literally have dozens of things happen, and none of it frightens me. I'm so used to it now. It's just like it's part of my existence. On one occasion, on the July the 14th, 2021, I was walking on the same stretch of the eastern shores of Loch and just making my way, picking blaeberries and stuff like that, and heading out to a water course to put my feet in the water, which I'll load against this footage at the end of the video. But although I never mentioned it on that particular upload, it was really weird because as I was walking along, I saw a hiker coming towards me over the brow of the hill. I didn't take any real notice, I just observed and glanced at someone who was heading my way. And I just continued my walk and was gazing at the water and all the surrounds as I normally do. And further along the track, I then realised that I hadn't passed anyone. And so I stopped and I went back and I had a look along, and I thought, that is very strange. There was someone on the track coming towards me, and there was no way that they could have went down or up. I say there's no way, but there is a possibility that's what's happened, and I've not noticed. But I had a good gaze around, and there was absolutely no one. It was certainly heading on the track in my direction, heading south, and I was heading north. And it was very, very odd. And I suppose it was worth adding this into the footage because it was also a very peculiar event, in my mind at least. Okay, so here we have Gilbert's Burn. Very, very gently flowing burn today, unlike sometimes when this is impassable due to the force of water when melting snow and stuff. But this goes down into Loch obviously. I'm going to put my feet in the water. I've seen just a few moments ago that you know, this stream, there's a Gaelic name for it, but I think it's called Gilbert's Burn for its English term on some Ordnance Survey maps. But Altnacochrane or something, it's I've had a winter experience coming down off the tops and following down this burn, which is quite precarious. I had the wrong footing on, I didn't have any crampons or ice grips, and therefore it's a bit, the snow was soft and on top of ice. It was really quite a, well, it was a learning experience if anything else, to come fully prepared on the hills. I'll put up a couple of pictures because it was a pretty decent day. I think it was the month of March, if I can recall, 2015 possibly, maybe later. But here we go. Excuse me. So feet in water, and then I'll give it a dry off. The wind's getting a bit frisky, but as I say, it's a pleasant breeze. It's not causing any problems. But so Auckland Free Hills at the back there. I was up there recently. I was thinking about going up today just because it's there, but we'll see what happens. It's 4 o'clock on my clock just now, and I hadn't planned to go that far, so I only have a t-shirt and a change of t-shirt actually, and a change of socks. But anyway, I'm going to put my feet in the water. I'll catch up with you in a minute. The fresh mountain water, it's good for bunions and stuff like that. Icy cold, of course, but that's all the pleasure. Need my nails cut. You can see this often comes down here in the torrent. It's just nice to relax and enjoy the water and the sound of the water as much as the healing properties of the water on the feet. Now the water's certainly much warmer on this left hand side behind the rock. Is just warmed up nicely in the sunshine you see all day, but and that breeze is just keeping away the midges, flies and clegs and stuff like, you know. Well, I've had a cup of tea. The tea was, I knew this would be a problem. I'd boiled the kettle, but I'd waited too long before I put it in the teapot, and so I would say the tea's off slightly warmer than lukewarm. But on a day like this, you're not bothered. It's refreshing enough, you know. I must come back sometime and let you hear the deafening roar of this water. But today it's just like everybody else, enjoying the sunshine. Very bad. Yeah. So that heather turning already and the blaeberries out, it shows you that it's not a long time in the winter, not a long time in the Scottish hills. It's a short season really. Well, depends what you're doing, of course, but a lot of the winter climbing enthusiasts probably think the winter's too short for what they do. I have to say I like the snow, but the winter time can get a bit monotonous as well, the darkness. Not so bad in the city in the winter time, I think. Well, even that I don't know. It's nice in the countryside. You can get out and grab the last of the light before it turns to darkness. December. Yep, we all know there's not much daylight in December.